Hey, what's up, guys? T92 here of Retribution Gaming, and today I'm joined by Wolfer.
Hello, hello. Nice. Thank you for having me on the pod. Very, very happy to be here.
Nice. So originally it was going to be Wolfer and Bing, and possibly someone else, but Bing's actually fallen off ill, so it's just me and Wolfer for the podcast. Okay, so let's go over some of the topics we're going to be bringing up in the podcast. So, thoughts on the new character teaser. We're going to be going over a customer service ticket and how some people are affected by that. We're going to be asking Wolfer for his tier list. I don't know if you guys noticed, we've done a tier list video, and it was on my opinion.
Not biased
Now
at
we're
all.
gonna get Wolfer's. Yeah, we're gonna get Wolfer's opinion, okay? Like, so have your guns ready and aimed at him. No
Oh
pressure,
yeah.
Wolfer.
No, I am a man for the
Um,
people, so I think they'll like my list.
got a funny feeling this is S tier for that, right?
Yeah.
We then have custom character versus the existing characters in game, okay? And we can dive a little more into that topic later on to explain it more. So let's start with thoughts on the new character teaser. So some people may have watched the video that went out with patch notes and the character reveal, and I kind of went in my opinion on that. So Wolfer, let's start with you, and then I'll just go over some highlights with me. So,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what is your thoughts on the new character?
Look, the character itself, I absolutely love. Like, I am very, very excited for this War Master. He seems to be a Berserker class. And then from some of the little clips that I saw, he seems to be a two-handed axe or like a two-handed weapon. I'm just very keen. I think like for now, where I'm at with the game, I just have not been interested at the War Master class at all. So this is with Wingrave and Senja. Like, I mean, Wingrave is great, but I don't want to play like a tank at like a paladin class kind of thing. So that's just not for me. So I'm very, very happy that there is a tank DPS character that looks like he's going to come out. Yeah, so I'm very excited. What I will say though is, maybe I'll give you your opinion, and then maybe we can go into like, is the character warranted right now? Like I
Yeah.
guess like yeah, with how much there is to do in the game.
Before you put that on me, what do you think of
Mhm.
the weapon, though, as well?
Um, uh, it's, uh, it's hard to say without looking at the abilities. I thought it was like very similar to the Epitaph, if that makes sense. It just like it seemed like a hard-hitting weapon. Um, and then the weapon skill just basically seemed to be like maybe a swirl. Like it's hard to say, but it seemed like it's like a swirl, like what the Blood Wardens do, or in the Hollow Woods where they swirl around with you. So it looks cool, but I'm just more so very curious on like his abilities and his passives, to be honest.
Okay. So I'll go into mine then. So I think the character looks. I think I said the words, and I quote in the video, were pretty sick. Um, but I'm looking forward to the character to see what different playstyle he does bring, if he does
Yep.
bring a new one. I really hope it's not going to be kind of a rehash, Senja and Wingrave in between other.
Well, it's interesting
With
because
like
you played a bit
something a
of
bit
Wingrave,
fresh.
right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think is going to be the difference between Wingrave and like the new character?
I hope the new character is a decent DPS. I really
Yeah.
do. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think because the content we have in game right at the moment is dead easy, right? It's not
Yeah.
challenging. You
Mm-hmm.
don't need a tank. You don't need to
Mm-hmm.
run a healer. You can just run all DPS and
Yeah.
still do the
Be
stuff
okay.
just as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I don't
Well,
think now's the time to release a new tanky person
yeah.
that is kind of irrelevant to the content that's currently in the game.
Mm-hmm. No,
That
100%.
said, I know they have said content's coming, but still, release the character closer at the time if you want to put a tank out there, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they said
Um,
raids aren't going to be coming for a good while now. And right now, where the game is at, it just seems like the only reason why you'd want to play a tank is either for bosses or when those raids will come out. Like right now, like dungeons, as you said, are all just DPS. So if this new character is coming out, like either make, like I know they're making the experience getting like a lot easier or a lot more on mini bosses and in dungeon runs and stuff. So if you're doing that, you may as well make the bosses harder, right? If you're getting all these new characters.
As I said, I really do hope it's more of a DPS orientated, kind of a tanky DPS though, right?
Yeah,
Like by tanky, I mean like beefy.
yeah, yeah,
It wants a good amount of HP and
yeah, yeah.
some defense stats ain't too bad, but
hmm
more offense orientated.
Like a good defense, and obviously there's going to be a DPS passive. That'll be really good, and then you can focus his build on just like we'll have like as you said, like a big, good DPS build, and you don't have to worry about the defenses so much, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that has to be
just
something
something
cool.
like that.
Yeah,
Because I feel like Senja right now.
yeah. Look, if there is
Um,
a class below F, that's where she's going to be.
I actually do have something to clarify over this as well. But we
Okay,
can.
okay.
This is more for your tier list, but
Mm,
to justify my tier list to people, okay, the game is still fresh.
mm,
I didn't want to put Senja in like below B, just
mm.
in case a build cropped up, or
Okay.
like if they release some new echoes and when they release new maps and stuff.
Mm.
Didn't want to eliminate her out the race completely like that, just in case like something does come along. And
But you could change your mind later, right?
I know, but I don't want to be making a
Yeah.
tier list video every month.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair.
um, but yeah, so she went with a B. But
Mm.
as more Wayfinders come out, she will get kicked down if she's left
Yeah,
untouched.
for
Like,
sure. My only gripe, I know, I guess like with Senja is I guess we can get to that in the tier list. We can finish off this topic first. Oh, just one thought. So obviously this teaser came out, I think Snuff and them are just like in the Gamescom in Japan at the moment, right? So that's why they teased it out to promote well a little bit of promotion, but also to just kind of like get the game out there, right? Do you think with where the game is at, right? Is this like what was warranted or needed, like to like I guess put like a shining light on the game, or like to get the existing player base excited about the game? Like, did we need a new character released, or would I guess like the community be more happy if they like just fix the existing problems and just kind of put that out there at the Gamescom?
it's kind of a double-edged sword right now because this
Mm,
game does need some advertisement. It does need some more players pump into it in early access.
yeah.
On the other hand, the existing players
hmm
that are probably playing the game right now,
hmm
the ones that I've spoke to,
hmm
um, and keep in mind, a lot of the people I speak to are very into hardcore grinding,
Of course, yeah.
like Wolf and Vecna and
hmm
stuff, or like.
hmm
Um, they would sooner the game gets patched
Yeah,
and
yeah.
no new character comes and
hmm
just stuff is playable, because for them their inventories are full. They are
Yeah.
struggling right now to even put echoes
Yep.
on new characters that they're trying to level.
It's just the only reason they're struggling in the higher end builds is because they genuinely can't fit echoes to get their characters up.
Yeah,
It's
so
yeah.
so Wolf's opening his echo menu and the game just
Crashes.
crashes. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
doesn't even get a chance to clear any out or anything. It
hmm
just straight up refuses to let him do it.
No,
Same
no, I
with
understand.
Vecna, really.
hmm
They're at a point where they do have other stuff they could level,
hmm
but they just can't equip anything on.
Yeah, yeah. No, and I
And
think
at the
like
same
yeah,
time, I don't think they can get anything new either.
yeah, yeah. So like yeah, it was just a thought that was just going in my head. It's like yeah, character is cool, but like I don't know. I just felt like I still have like so much to do anyway with getting other characters and stuff. So like maybe they could have held off on this and then it was just a thought experiment. Maybe like yeah, if they
I
promoted.
can I can see it as a drive to try and get people involved. Perhaps this character fills a niche that people want, and they come to the game to play.
Yeah, no, for
And
sure.
maybe they're kind of learning that they do actually need some players on this because numbers
Yeah,
are dwindling.
yeah, yeah.
State of game right now. Yeah, this is pre-patch, so
hmm
if the patch has gone out and fixed a bunch of stuff,
hmm
grats. But right now,
hmm
there's no patch at time
Yeah,
of recording.
yeah, yeah.
The
Which
game
is.
is rough.
hmm Yeah,
It's
we're
quite
definitely
rough
getting there.
now.
Yeah. Not from the well, yeah, a little bit from the DCs, but just more so of the inventory stuff that they know about, and it's gonna be fixed hopefully very soon. But It's very hard for people
people,
who've put 200 hours in.
people are now starting to hit those caps where they're
Mhm.
starting to have game problems.
Yeah.
Um, and like Group Finder, there's problems with Group Finder right now.
Hmm.
You queue in there, you end up with a level 2 trying to just
Yeah.
come in and farm some echoes while leveling his level 2
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff. There's all that. The
Which
helper
is such a big
queue
shame
is
because
kind of wrong.
I feel like I just really wish they got ahead of that because that's what I think really like drove like the casual players out. Because like there was like I think at the start even with the DCs the casual players like put through because when they went for matchmaking or like solo players so people who doesn't like unfortunate to have a guild right they would just matchmake and they would get matchmaked into three randoms but like those three randoms would like work together to finish a dungeon right so they still have that group play but now once like you're getting all this like people doing that like that annoying stuff really you lose that like big aspect of the game right like a big driver of this game is to get like a group and like run these dungeons so yeah when you're losing that it's just like yeah like why am I playing this game for like it's bugged now and like I'm getting annoyed at the bugs and I'm not having fun so it's like why am I playing kind of thing.
Like right now, if I get a level 2 join me,
Mm.
because I've carried some through,
Yeah.
but at this point in time, if I get a level 2 join me and it's
I'm
outside the guild,
yeah.
I just leave. I'm just leaving
No, no.
now. I'm
Oh,
not. I'm
I
not.
go one step further. I message. I'm like, why are you doing this? This is not okay. And then I leave, just to make him like maybe hopefully he feels a bit bad and doesn't do that in the future.
That said, though, the
Hmm.
helper queue is a contributing factor, and
Mm.
here's why. So I took a level. I think it was level 18 at the time,
Mm.
Venomous,
Hmm.
and I joined the helper queue, thinking, "Oh, I'll go, go and get some helper coins, helping some people."
Yeah.
It put me in Hollow Heart at level 18.
Oh my God.
So
Okay.
it does make me wonder if some
Mm.
people are joining the helper queue
Yeah.
and are being put into those situations as well. Like it's not just on them. I mean, a
Hmm.
bulk of it is clearly,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree.
is
There's
the helper queue a
like
contributing factor to that?
when me and like Vecna or someone from the guild do runs together as a duo, we do get those people, and then they're very upfront about it. They're like, oh hey, sorry, like I thought like because I think we're doing like 3 or 4 runs in Hollow Hearts or something, and then we got like a level 17 there, and we're like, hey, like just stay at the back, like we'll carry you, it's fine. And he's like, I'm so sorry, like like this was meant to be a fair one for me, like a different like dungeon, but like I'm here, and we're like, no, it's fine. So we do have cases of that happening.
Yeah. Like you guys are very patient with it, but I'm at the point now where I'm flat out just leaving.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not there carrying people anymore. If I want to do that, I'll join the helper queue on
Yeah,
a
yeah.
level 30 to go and help someone.
Hmm.
But if I'm there to farm echoes,
Yep, yep,
I'm leaving. Or
yep. Hmm.
the other scenario is if you're low level,
Yep.
I'm gonna let you keep dying.
Yeah. There have been
I,
cases where like the guy like just really annoying. He was like level 1. He knew what he was doing. Or
yeah,
they knew what they were doing. And we are like, hey, like just stay back, like, or we're gonna leave. And like, he was just still going out and then dying. And then, like it was so funny. So he goes in, he's daggers or something, he gets one shot by like a little dude, and then he starts crawling back to us. Like expecting us to pick him up, and then we like I think it was just me and like Vecno. It was just like just literally just surround him and just watch him die, and it was really fun. I think he got the hint then.
yeah. Like it is. It sounds bad, but
Mm.
that is the state of the game, and
Hmm.
I'm not there. Like if I want to do it, there's a helper queue to do it, but I'm not there to. If I'm farming echoes, I don't care about XP. I'm there
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like. I'm just gonna rush through those maps for the
Hmm.
hollow ones and
The follow
stuff,
ones, yeah, yeah.
and that's it. I
Hmm.
don't care about XP at this point.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, they do. So they can just die and die and die, and I'm not gonna die. So
Hmm.
it's
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean
still
it,
keep
it
playing.
is frustrating to put it at the very least. Which hope I mean I know they're very aware of this problem, so it's just been nice to know what the fix is going to be or when we'll get that little fix for matchmaking.
I think the matchmaking itself should have like so
Hmm.
let's say the power levels 1500. Okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you'd probably want to be over 1k at least
For
to
sure.
be able to get into that.
Yeah, and then if you're doing a melee build, you need to be a lot higher as well. You need to be 12, 1300, just because the physical defense and act defense is bugged at the moment. So like right now, all you're really relying for defense is HP and maybe a bit of resilience. So realistically, and with the limited echo slots that you have, your build is going to be majorly DPS, right? Unless you're Wingrave, exception. So yeah, realistically, like melee is very rough at the moment because of like all the defense stats being bugged. So yeah, your power level obviously with the gun you can be like 700 over because you can just dart around. But if you're doing a melee build, which I've like learned the hard way with like Ven and stuff, even being like 300-400 and still like learning the mechanics of each like melee weapon, you really can't. You don't have the luxury of being like 400 or 500 like power levels under, unfortunately, unless like you're a freak in the game. But you know.
It's an interesting one.
Mhm.
But I feel like they are gonna have to address the range versus melee thing.
Yeah, yeah. Because it is like it's
It's
really
not.
fun when it's working, you know, when you're like just shredding through enemies.
I would say it's not a priority right now because they really do need to get
Mm.
shit down.
Mhm.
Some of the stuff in this patch is definitely gonna help.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Like,
I feel
mm,
like what they're doing is the right step, but
mhm.
at the same time, I'm actually I'm gonna go slightly more, a little more off topic. Okay, so do you
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
those weapons? Do you
Which
remember
ones?
those? The ones that got leaked in
Oh yeah,
game
those
for a
ones.
bit.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Like we can even like collect a couple of the essences, right? Like the rose and thorn one.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
But do you remember? I don't know if you remember the quote. I believe the quote was like a week to two would be able to get our hands on them. Well,
Yeah.
we're past that right now, and there's no news of
Mm,
it coming in the patch either.
yeah.
And let's be honest, they've not. If they've stated anything else on this, I've not
Mm,
seen it because I don't sit on that Discord all day long.
yeah, yeah. I haven't seen anything. What I have, I mean, and what I've heard, I don't know if this is true. So they said end of month will be a content update. But and then I think this is just like obviously like a bug fix patch that we're going to get very soon, hopefully. And then end of month they said will be the first content update, but I'm not sure.
If that is the case, like
Mm,
gotta state that outside that Discord. There's a lot of
yeah,
stuff being said in that Discord.
yeah,
But guess
yeah,
what, guys? Like, people aren't using Discord, you know? Like,
mm,
there's a lot of people that don't, I'm not sitting in that channel all day,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
waiting for the thing. Like,
hmm
you can put that on your website. I stand more chance in it on the website or your Twitter.
yeah,
Like, make it,
hmm
even if you just put it on multiple platforms,
exactly.
one of
Like,
our guys is going to see it and they can
mm,
ping it straight in.
exactly. Like they literally, I mean, they're on the right side. Like they've done a fair bit. Like there's like obviously users themselves to pin messages. There's a channel for like all those important updates. All they have to do is just get those screenshots and just put it onto like a website tab that they have, and be like, hey, this is just FAQs that or we think is important, and just chuck that on Reddit and their website. I mean, it's like it's not that hard to do.
It was, I believe it was one of the comments on, I think it might have been even the patch notes and the reveal video I done for Grendal,
Hmm.
was a guy saying the exact same thing, like,
Yeah. Right. Right.
about that Discord server. Like, it's good
Hmm.
that they're communicating in that server, but
Yeah, yeah. I think like obviously like the patch notes and like very important updates are just going to get out because like they're so big. But I think like just to like keep like the frustrations that we accumulate like after playing like 50, 60 hours a week, like just to keep them like appeased. It'd be nice to get like those little updates just for like the consistent player base. Yeah,
you know
but
what? I don't think those notes would reach people though. I really don't.
that's
And
interesting.
I'm gonna use I'll use my brother as an example in this.
Hmm.
So the guy works a lot, right?
Yep.
Look, he wants to just come home. He just wants to play the game. If the
For sure.
patch notes aren't easily accessible to him, and he
Hmm.
trust me, he's not checking the Discord
Yeah,
like
yeah.
for this stuff. Like,
Hmm.
this stuff needs to be in the launcher,
Hmm.
like in the game notes or on the website,
Yep.
or even on Steam
Hmm.
for But it needs to be a little more accessible to people. Like, I consider my brother very casual when
Yep.
he plays these games. Like,
Hmm.
Warframe was very casual.
Yeah.
Um, it's more an FPS, but
Yeah, yeah.
for those type of people, there's going to be loads like him, especially come free to play that come into the game.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
stuff needs to be more widespread.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
to be honest, instead
Hmm.
of a Discord, you should probably have a forums on the
Yeah, that's what I was
website.
thinking. Like, I mean, like they have like
And then
a
that way
yeah.
you can backdate all the patch notes as well. So if you're like,
Mhm.
oh, when was this fixed? Has it been fixed? You can just go through all the patch notes instead of having to dig through an entire Discord server.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, No, no, I was just saying, yeah, I mean, like that's it's spot on. Like it's just simple fixes. But I mean, like like I will give them like a bit of rope. I mean, it is a very small team. Like, I'm sure like they have like a lot of other pressing problems to deal with. While also trying to promote the game, like what the devs are doing. So, I mean, I think they just like if they had manpower, like all this little stuff, like we wouldn't be complaining about. I will always have to like think back when I'm like giving them a fair bit of criticisms. Like always have to think about like how much manpower they actually have, and it isn't a lot at the moment. It is a very small team, and they're very very focused on giving us the content, like working through the like new content updates while trying to also fix out all these bugs, like the major bugs that we're doing right now. I think after the inventory, everything we've talked about in the last like little bit is going to be addressed, right? So yeah, I think it's just a matter of waiting time, and that always makes me feel like calm down a little bit after getting very frustrated with the game from DCs or like whatnot.
It is worrying about like what the
Mm-hmm.
size of the team could be.
Yeah.
This was our thing. I think me and Landon's first podcast,
Mm-hmm.
like of this series that we've
Yeah.
done. This was brought up, and it was like I hope they're planning because we knew this game was
Mm.
going to be big. I mean, the beta
Yeah.
kind of showed a little hint of that as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah,
Well, I mean,
just
like early access, the first 2 days, we had almost 100,000 people in the game. Like the queues were that long, so it was very like a very sought after game. So yeah, and now like I think
the highest queue I saw, I think for me,
yeah,
on the first day was something like 60 to 70,000.
yeah, about that. Yeah, no, it was a very high like fan base. But then like I mean, we knew it was never going to be like that like consistently is going to be that much. But I think we saw a little like graph the other day, and like the player base right now is like very very low, like probably 5,000
Yeah.
or less from that. So
I,
like
I would say right now, if you go
mm,
based off Steam numbers and then
mhm,
if you double if you try and mirror that for PlayStation people,
mhm.
game's probably got about 3K
Yeah,
right
yeah. I
now.
mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair, like it's genuinely because all the consistent players are taking a break because they genuinely can't do anything in the game, as we said with
That's
deckers
what I
and
was
stuff.
about to
Yeah.
yeah. That's what I was about to bring up, right? I
Hmm.
want you to go like you can just go and look at our guild right now, okay?
Yeah, yeah,
I want you to think about launch day, just how many of us all sat in Discord,
yeah.
how many people were all in chat and everything hyped for
Hmm.
the game.
Yeah.
Have you noticed right now, over
Yeah.
3/4 of that have dropped off to play other games?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or they just have actively said it's just like the hardcore grinders of the game and were meant to be like grinding this 24/7. They're like playing it casually, or as you said, like there's like games out there like rightfully so. Like Destiny's out, Starfield is popping off. So like why play like a game that they like can't really like play when there's like other
Yeah.
content out there for them, like so it makes sense from their end as well. So hopefully with this new patch we get like those players back. Like I know Vecna's going to be coming back once the Echo stuff is going to come back. So maybe that number might jump from like five to like maybe 15 to 20,000. Hopefully, if like a fair bit are taking a break from the game, waiting for all this to be fixed, but they still are like the thing I see from Reddit and all these forums is that it's a great game, but I'm gonna like wait till they fix all this like major stuff before I get back into it. So like that seems
Yeah.
to be the vibe kind of happening right now, unless like you really love the game like us and we just like suffer through like all these little things.
I'll give the devs credit
Hmm.
from what they're showing us that they want to do.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Hmm.
Really good. On paper, really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and credit that they are being very communicative in that Discord.
Hmm.
And there is Wayfinder Wednesdays coming, so they are trying to push stuff out as well. That's
Hmm.
something I've just
Yeah.
remembered. Like Wayfinder Wednesdays are coming, so there's going to be some nice stuff coming out there.
That'll be exciting.
But yeah, right now state of game pretty rough. Hopefully, patch in the is it this weekend? Is it
Yeah, yeah.
something like that?
Hmm.
Hopefully, the patch fixes a lot of stuff. So if you
Yeah.
guys are curious,
Hmm.
come and give the game another shot.
Yeah, for sure. Would
Probably
love to have you guys back
probably
in.
wait till Monday, Tuesday to be safe because I can't guarantee the patch will be out the weekend.
I doubt it. It'll be
Um,
on Monday, I reckon. Like they'll probably do final testing on Monday, and then maybe Monday night, early Tuesday morning they'll release.
yeah. So if you guys are looking to
Mm.
get back into the game to see what it's about, probably
Mhm.
give it a shot Monday, Tuesday time.
Yeah, yeah.
I know a lot of guildies that listen to this. Like, it's surprising. We do have a number of guildies that don't play the game right now, but still tune in for this. So it's great that
Yeah, yeah.
that happens. But
Mm.
to go back onto the Grendal topic, because we
Yeah.
went really off topic
Yeah,
there.
yeah, we just kind of went on a little bit with that. That was good. That was a good discussion. Very, very glad to
Yeah,
talk about where the state of the game is at, and like how hopefully we get more players back. It's cool.
get back to the discussion. Is there anything else you want to add on the new character teaser? Because honestly,
Oh
a
no,
lot of my stuff's already been said. So if
I
you
think
need
so.
a
Like a TLDR, I'm very excited to play him. I'm not sure if that's what the game needed, but I'll take the new character. I'm gonna grind for him. So yeah, very excited
cool.
to see on that front. But yeah, I mean, I guess would you want to go to the next topic? I think you wanted to use a platform to talk about the customer service tickets, and we're seeing not just you, fair few people on Reddit have been kind of like unfortunately complaining that they haven't been getting some items that they still paid for, a month after the game's kind of released. And like the customer service is, yeah, I'll leave the floor to you, and you can talk a bit about that.
So we'd actually brought this up in a previous podcast a couple of weeks ago. I can't remember
Hmm.
what episode it was because
Hmm.
we used to do two parts. So saying what
Yeah, yeah.
part it is, like you just have to go and read what it
Hmm.
is we done on those. But we brought it up, and my advice in that was just make a ticket and it will get sorted.
Mm.
And I done that as well. I made the ticket,
Hmm.
and I finally did get a response. It took, I think, just over 2 weeks, but we got
Hmm.
there. We did get a response.
Yep.
But the reason I'm bringing it up now is because for me, it didn't help at
Yeah.
all. And I can already see going off Reddit,
Yeah.
outside of that joke guy that tried to, that said he
I'll
was going to
sue the
sue the
company. Oh my
company.
God. Yeah. Yeah. You'll get him out of
Yeah.
here, but.
Out, outside of that joke guy, there's
Mm.
legit other complaints about it.
Mm.
But let's go in there. I've got my ticket here.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Mm.
I'll give a brief description of what I
Mm.
said on this. So I said, look, I bought the Cobalt Flame skin for
Hmm.
Sword and Shield. The game
Yep.
crashed. The skin's missing from my account. When I go to store,
Mm.
it says I own the item, so I can't buy the item again. The
Ah.
currency's gone, and I can't use
Mm.
the skin. Like,
Yep.
that's my issue. I have sent screenshots in to support that as well.
Yep.
Um,
It's a big
I
issue.
know you can't specifically see them because
Yeah.
but they're
Yeah.
on the ticket.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
take my, trust.
No, no, I got
It's a
you.
trust me, bro situation in there.
No, I see the
Um,
screenshots. Yeah.
so we got a reply. This is from DE Mag, okay?
Hmm.
And to sum it up, they basically say, "Thank you for reporting the issue. We're aware of the problem, and our development team has already added it to the list.
Mm.
Your report has really helped us understand the scope of the problem." Great.
Sure. Thank you. Yeah.
Outside of that, though, they tell me
Mm.
to keep an eye on the Discord and feature upvote. I don't
Mm.
feel like I should have to feature upvote that to get fixed.
Yes. This is
Like,
an individual account. This isn't like a community thing. This is what you paid for and you didn't get.
yeah. Now, I'm fine with waiting. I really am. But how they put this across
Mm.
didn't really help me.
It just sounded
And
like a PR wrote this. Like they obviously like addressed the first issue and then the rest of it was just a copy and paste from their list of.
yeah,
Oh,
it felt like a brush off. Like,
yeah.
they're aware of it.
Mm.
Just check the Discord. And
Mm.
other people have been getting very similar responses, and
Mm.
some people have actually had some great customer support. There's been, there's some
Yeah, yeah.
good ones out there as
Of
well.
course, yeah.
It's customer support right now is really hit and miss. And of
Mm.
course, I know the state of the game, and as I
Mhm.
said, I'm prepared to wait. But
Yep.
this right now isn't
Mm.
doing anyone any favors. This isn't
Yeah.
helping the people that are missing the items.
Hmm.
And it's not helping airship at all on image because some
Yeah.
people are gonna get real salty about this. You know,
Hmm.
um, I'm not saying I am. I'm not salty. I don't mind waiting,
Yeah, yeah.
but I just wish this communication was better.
For
Um,
sure. Yeah.
if it's on the list. It'll take a couple of months, but don't tell me to check the Discord and the feature upvote. I'm not up feature upvoting this to get fixed. This
Hmm.
should be fixed. This should
Hmm.
never have happened.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. Yeah, it's just yeah,
Um,
it's not good.
And I kind of feel for the people that because for me it's just one purchase, but there's one or two guys I were reading on the Discord and Reddit that had it with, so they had bought multiple items on the same day, like in a batch.
Yeah, right.
So let's say they bought 2 character skins, for example, plus a weapon skin. That's all gone.
Oh wow.
They can't. Yeah. So I don't mind because it's one. It's a sword and shield skin, and to be fair, right now I'm not using a sword and shield anyway.
Yeah.
It was just a nice skin to own.
It's a matter of principle, right? You bought an item, you expect that to be in your account, and if it isn't, you want something done about it, right? Like.
But I feel like for those guys that bought multiple skins, they were gonna use those skins. You know, if you bought a skin for your main, like if I bought that Cairo skin and it went missing, then I'd be a little more pissed.
I mean, you bought it, and like I think you enjoyed the skin, but do you justify that being like 2,200 win silver? I think that's the most expensive skin pricing we've had on the shop.
You know, let's go into this off topic. I feel like this does need to be addressed.
Yeah,
and because I am a very, my Guild Wars 2 account and Star Wars Your Republic account was filled with like 80% of the shit you could buy in the store. So I am a target customer for skins right now for this game.
You fell for marketing. Gotcha.
Yeah. I, right now, feel like personas need to be able to be customized with other parts.
Yep.
For me, right now, I don't feel like the price really justifies it, considering you can't mix it with anything.
Yeah,
I would love to take, like, the new Cairo skin head and slap that on a heroic Kairos. I think that would look pretty cool. And when they allow you to dye the hair, that's going to be even cooler, right?
Yeah.
What I don't like at the moment is I can't really customize it outside of dyes. And I feel like that's where personas right now, they feel short for me.
No, for sure. But I think like once we get more skins for characters, right, then you can like mix and change parts, right? So you could use your cool like flame head for Kairos, right? And then once a new skin for him comes out, you can maybe use some of that.
You can't though, right? At the moment, you can't. Because personas are locked. Perhaps you don't know. So some of these skins you can customize and you can just interchange them.
Yeah,
that's like these expensive ones though you can't.
Oh, gotcha. Right. I was being a bit confused.
Practically, it's like you buying an outfit and it's all in one piece, but you can't take any piece off.
Okay, that's very annoying. Because I was getting confused because with Ven, right, I bought a couple of skins, and then obviously for the reward towers we get a few items and stuff, and like I was able to like interchange a bit of that, so I just assumed that like was like across. So you're saying with these purchase skins, you can't like separate the parts essentially because it's just like one thing.
Okay, so some you can, some can't. So the previous Cairo skin that was on the shop, you could. This one you can't.
Oh, that's interesting.
But the price difference between them is like, why is this one more when it's less customizable?
Exactly. That makes no sense. Like it gains like there's no benefit in the studio doing that, right? Like you still get the money, you still get the skin, right? You still buy the skin for full purchase, but then all you're doing is just like maybe buying more skins to like customize your character. It makes no sense to limit yourself, right? Or like limit that you can't change the skins around. That makes no sense.
So, yeah, I mean, trust me, those skins do look cool, but they should be customizable, or elements of them. Certain pieces, at least, should be able to give
or
it
at the very least, you should
at
least be allowed to interchange your skins, like between each. Yeah, that's so silly.
So that's the downside because I don't like the entire thing of the Cairo skin, but it really does hit the theme I want.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I would sooner slap his skull head on heroic Kairos.
Yeah.
And then maybe change the lower half of the clothes to give heroic Kairos a more deathly feel, but that's that's me going into Necromancer theming again. So.
I don't want to step on the Necromancer class that they've advertised that might come out in the near future.
I hope they don't mess that up.
Oh, I can really hope that. If the Necro is like another Senja, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. So to be fair to all the Senja mains, right? I really do feel for you guys.
We're talking to the 5 people, by the way, who are the Senja mains. of the community.
Hello, Landon. I know you're one of them. I feel sorry, man. I know you were hyped to play Sandra.
Yeah, yeah. I just feel bad for people who like use their Wayfinder tokens on her and now like they're just utterly disappointed.
I mean, they still get it for the Awakening, so it's not too bad. They can bolster some
Yeah,
other character they want to play eventually,
yeah, yeah.
but
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it's a good segue to the Wayfinder tier list.
Yeah, okay. So I feel like the customer service one I feel like we've gone over. But
Yeah,
to
yeah.
TDLR that
Yeah, yeah, we'll
like
just do a final. Yeah, you close that segment off.
basic customer service tickets need to be answered better. And
100%.
um and they're very some of the answers, especially the people are getting on Reddit, are very vague. They're no help at
Mm,
all, and they're not reassuring people. If
hmm.
anything, some of them are just angering people because
Yeah.
they don't feel like they've been heard. It just
Hmm.
feels more like a template message.
Yeah.
Check the Discord, upvote it.
Mm,
No
hmm.
one's doing that.
Yeah.
So keep it clearer going forward. I know it's DE handling this stuff because it even
Hmm.
says this one's D mag that I got, so it's not Airship's fault.
Hmm.
But at the same time, Airship need to be communicating
Of
this to
course.
DE
Yeah.
that this shit just can't fly. Like
Hmm.
it doesn't fly in Warframe when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Um,
if just Airship put more resources into the team, like, because they know the numbers, like, they have all the analytics, so they know what this game can be. So, like, I mean, Airship should genuinely be getting ahead of this.
but that's my TDR. I don't know if you want to mention anything on it, like if you've got
Um,
any opinion on it.
Look, like I've been very fortunate. I mean, I haven't bought too much as well, but like all the purchases that I've made, like, like thankfully, like touch wood, they haven't really yeah, they haven't crashed or I'm not missing anything. So I've been very fortunate in that sense. But I mean, just yeah, look, I do hear a lot of these stories though, and I do feel for you guys. Like, I mean, I just, as I said, like I can't do anything but sympathize, right? Like, and I really do hope Airship, you know, they do invest a little bit more because it really does sound like the dev team might need like, a bit more like manpower or like whatnot to like get these issues sorted, right? So, just hopefully this does get sorted very soon for you guys.
I'm actually gonna let's go on to the tier list. I do have another bonus,
Mm.
like a bonus off topic though
Okay, yeah, yeah.
to quickly get your opinion on. But
Yeah,
let's go
shoot.
into tier list first.
Okay, sounds
So,
good.
okay, right. And so as you guys may have noticed, we done a video tier list. Like it was me that done the tier list, and I took
Yeah.
some opinions on that.
Go check the video out first if you guys haven't seen it. We'll chuck the link in the YouTube link below. So yeah, have a click on that.
Yeah, definitely. It's not as bad as you think, but I am very upfront with how I feel like the meta is. So if your main's not in S tier, I do apologize. But right now, at this side of the patch, where there's no patch out yet,
Hmm.
okay, I'm going to be very clear on that because
Hmm.
I know some characters get some changes.
Hmm.
At this side of the patch,
Hmm.
that's practically how it is for
Hmm.
most of us in in-game right now.
Yeah.
Like, we do have some people playing this that main this.
Hmm.
And some of them even agree. After
Yeah.
I know one certain GM
Yeah.
played this religiously.
Yeah.
Then I got him to try that Venomous build,
Yeah. Yeah.
and now they're main in Venomous.
Sounds about right.
So yeah, so
Hmm.
I'm gonna I'm standing by my tier list, okay, and I've already cleared up the Senja thing as well. So,
Yeah.
but for Wolf right now, I'm gonna
Mm,
put Wolf on the spot.
for sure.
You've all heard what I think, but let's go over the Wolf and see if he can come up with a better tier list than me. So, Wolf, start from your bottom tier and work your way up, buddy. On that.
I mean, look, bottom tier, like, I mean, there's gonna be no surprise. I think, look, I think you had Sandra at B. I would put her at like D or like F. Like, and I want to get into this a little bit. Look, I think like when they developed the game, like Senja was meant to be like this really like exciting, fun character that everyone needs to get. And I think the way the dev team built her to get like it's a ridiculous amount of farming you need to do. It is so dumb. Like the amount of hours that we put in to get the resources to even craft her, right? Like it's 15 trickster coins, 15 archaic bones that you need. Like no other character has this much grinding to do. So, when the stakes are that high, right? you expect the character to be like amazing, like it's worth that grind. So you put at least like like getting like 5 arcade bones is like a task itself. You're asking people to do 15, and that's like at least a week to 2 weeks worth of grinding to just get this character. And once you get this character, it's just like, why did I waste like 2 weeks of like my life doing this, right? Like it is very underwhelming. Like on paper, she sounds amazing. Like she's meant to be this like tank support with a bit of damage. Her skills look really cool in the trailers, but none of that applies because she is just not strong enough. She doesn't do the damage. Her HP just melts in enemies, and her abilities are like mediocre at best. So I mean, it just makes no sense why like you want to grind for this character, right? Just save your time. There is no reason right now to play Senja. Like save your time unless you're trying to just get everything right. And that's my biggest gripe with the character at the moment.
I'm just gonna state right here that
Mm.
this is all Wolfer's opinion, okay? Don't take this out on me.
No, I'll stand by
I
that.
want
Like,
to.
it's all with love, but like that's my biggest thing. Like, why am I grinding for this person so hard when like the results are underwhelming? And like I've yet to meet someone who says Senja is like fun to play with. That's just so if you have a different opinion, leave like a comment below, and happy to like get back to you.
Or if you're a Sandra main, you can leave a dislike like you done on my tier list. But hey ho. Go on. So we've
Yeah,
done
so
Sanja.
yeah,
Who's next?
so Sanja's there. Look, after that, at like, I think most characters, I think I'll put Nis at B. I think Nis is a B character. That may like a high B to like a low A, like an A minus maybe, just
Hey,
because.
there's no B plus and A minus. Okay, we're going with straight
No,
grades. Give it a straight grade.
a straight grade. It's hard because
Yeah, you don't get a wiggle out that way. You don't get a look at my video and go, "Oh, actually, maybe this means maybe angry at me." No, no, dude, you're either putting it in A or B. Okay.
the only reason she gets an A is if Snaf is listening to this, and I know is it Snaf who mains Nis?
I
Well,
thought
one
he was Wingrave, but
then it would have been the other dev that I'm blanking on. Solid mains Nis, right? So Solid, if you're listening, you're the reason why she's A minus. No,
might
I.
explain the Kairos nerf incoming.
Yeah, no, so I think like Nis is a great character. Like there is a big learning curve, I think, with Nis, which I think is exactly what the devs wanted her playstyle to be. It's a bit of a learning curve, but I think she's just too one-dimensional. It's she doesn't. I haven't played too much of Nis, but I think it's just you get very locked into your dagger dash build. It's very one-dimensional, and she's obviously a little bit more squishier than your survivalists. So yeah, it's like you're locking yourself into like a one thing where like other characters you have multiple like builds that you can do and you have a bit of variety and a bit of fun to play with. So that's literally like the only criticism I have of Ness. I think like her abilities and all that are just beautiful, but as I said, it's just like very one-dimensional. So that's my biggest reason for her to be a B. And in terms of like playthrough, she's definitely an A. Like, if you build her like as a DPS, she's gonna be good, and if you know how to play her, she's gonna be amazing. But the fact that she's one-dimensional compared to other characters, you don't. Yeah, it's just like, yeah. Unfortunately, like, yeah, just for that reason, unless like they do like any other buffs or anything, for now, I think I would put her at a B. And then,
Right,
yeah.
just clarify where you're standing with that because you said 2 grades. So just clarify for people listening: is it A or B?
Ugh. I think B. Realistically, I think she's a B, just because of that one-dimensional. Like, the way I see it is like if, yeah, in obviously when raids come out, if you have like a set DS, she's gonna be really good. But for where the game is at now in dungeons, like especially in end game potential, you're gonna struggle. Unfortunately, like she does fall off. I think in the end game, especially when you don't have when you're doing solo runs, like Nyx is very squishy. So unless like you're phenomenal at the game, it does get a bit hard. And
Who's next,
then
buddy?
what was that? Sorry.
Who's next? Who you got
Um,
next on your list?
so I guess like yeah. So the next will be basically the A classes. Who do we have? We probably have Wingrave at A. That's my personal
Okay,
opinion. Yeah, I think Wingrave is
I'm
an A.
I'm glad you're meeting me there on that because
No, no, I
I've
agree.
heard of a Wingrave main that I should have stuck him in S. And I
Yeah, I
tell her and
mean,
I said to him, if the content needed what he provided,
yeah,
maybe. But right
exactly.
now, content is so easy in game,
Hmm.
you don't need
You
these.
just don't need him. I think like he was like the most played at the start of the game when everyone was like trying to learn their DPS or their survivalist characters. And they were not that great at the game. So then like, Wingrave provided that beautiful healing or protection while you like figure out the boss's mechanics or something. But now like it's just like we know how like the boss's attacks and stuff, so he unfortunately just slows the pace of the game down. Like, when you're trying to grind so much, we need damage, unfortunately. We don't need a support. I don't need your heals, bro. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the one thing I can't speak on is I actually haven't done like a DPS build of Wingrave, and I don't know if you have, so if you want to just maybe clarify that before we move on to the next character.
I've seen. I think it's the other wolf. Okay, so not to confuse with
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
but the other wolf we
Hmm.
have in the guild. He's more DPS orientated Wingrave,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
it's okay.
it's
It's
okay. It's
okay,
it's not
but
like
it's no Kairos or Nis or Venomesto. It's okay. It
yeah.
does the job a little better, but again, uh, yeah, it's you can tell the difference big time on numbers. So
Yeah, yeah, no, that's very fair. And then we have obviously in the S class. Mm, oh, so do we want to do Kairos with the nerf that's coming up? I guess to make it this a bit more relevant.
I mean, at the moment we don't know how much the
Mm,
nerf changes, but if you
mhm.
want to predict that, then
Yeah.
go for it.
Look, I played a fair bit of Kairos. I got him to level 30. I've built him however I want. He's a bit of a strange one. Like, are we doing this in terms of just solo play or like group play, really? Because the
Try and do it for all types of content.
if it's all type,
All
I have
type.
to put Kairos at a high A leaning to S. I think obviously Kairos has like a really good strength. Like you can build him to like just clear out mobs, which I think is a very very useful skill. Like especially in any end game. I mean, we all know what he can do with bosses. Like he just shreds through them for grind content. But my biggest problem with Kairos, and I think obviously, I mean, if you're gonna make a character that powerful, he needs to have a big nerf as well. And that's after he does his thing, he's just very very useless. He's a very slow character compared to the survivalist and the other arcanists. So like you do your thing, you go in, you do your hand of reckoning, you do your abilities, you break, you kill like a good chunk of the enemies. But now you have like I don't know, say like a bloodletter or like an ice lancer or like even worse a witch standing. You're out of stamina, you're out of abilities. What are you gonna do except die? And I think that's like it's a really fundamental big downside of playing Kairos. He just like after he
Wow.
does this, yeah. Obviously,
Like as a Kairos me myself, I am surprised you're playing that card right now. Like,
yeah.
I'll put my quick opinion on it, right?
Mm,
So for me, once you've unleashed everything,
hmm.
in most cases, everything's dead. If it's
Sure.
not dead,
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
um,
You're dead.
but I feel like you got to kind of pair him with a weapon that he benefits from. So if you're going boss hunting, you're probably going to take Epitaph.
Of
If you're
course.
going to go farming, you're going to take Sword and Shield, or you'll take
Mm,
Tempest. And there's a couple of different Tempest builds. Like you
yeah.
got that one where when you do the perfect reload, you get orbs.
Yeah.
So you're constantly getting rakes anyway. And then you also have like the potions to get the ultimate quicker as well, so you can get a
Mm,
second ultimate off
hmm.
quicker. Like I don't think he's as bad. Like he has as much downtime
Yeah.
in most content as people think he would, because you've got obviously got to take the right weapon to do the job. But
For sure.
I I do get what you mean. I
Like,
do see
so I
where
played the Epitaph, and I played the Tempest, right? So those are the two weapons I played with Kairos to get him to level 30. The Epitaph, like, I couldn't get myself into it. Like, my playstyle personally is a very, like, it's a bit more faster, so it's going to be like a rogue dagger build, or it's going to be like a within a silo, like, or a Ven, like, dash around, kill everyone really quickly, or like do fast damage really quickly kind of builds. So coming for that context, going into the epitaph, which is very very slow, it really threw my timings off. So I think I got that weapon to like level 15 or 17, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna I need to move on. Like this is I'm not having fun with Kairos in the epitaph. So then I moved to the Tempest, and the problem with the Tempest, right, is you need to be up close. So when when I'm with Kairos and I'm at close, I'm sweating because if I'm out of rakes, I am dead, and I think that's probably the biggest problem I'm having with Kairos at the moment. So yeah,
You know what I'm gonna subject you to for this, right?
mm,
If you're gonna stick with A, you are tomorrow or Sunday playing
yeah.
with me as Kairos, and I'm gonna show you the way.
Yeah, you showed me, changed my mind. I'm very happy to. I really want to put Kairos at S. He's like, I put a lot of time and effort to build him. So it would be really nice if he's obviously the best character, right? But I think,
I'm gonna say that, and the patch is gonna drop and just obliterate him.
oh yeah,
But hey,
100%. Goodbye, 200k damage.
yeah,
And then obviously,
bills.
I mean, this is very biased, but again, like my S classes would 100% be Silo, being first, and then Venomous, second. Silo is just beautiful. Like him,
Explain to me Silo, okay? Because
yeah.
I've had a bunch of comments
Hmm.
on YouTube
Hmm.
and even in the guild saying Silo would be
Yeah.
B tier.
Oh, B.
Because I think
Yeah.
I placed him in A because
Yeah. Yeah.
of the synergies that he has.
Hmm.
I got told I rated him too high.
No
Like,
way.
explain to me why he's S. Like,
I mean, he's just like play style. He's so versatile. Like he's the only character I see where you can do three different builds. You can do a weapon power build, which I think is the most popular right now. You can do an ability power build, like which is still very good, but I think it's just like it's a bit boring. Like I mean, like I think that, and that's probably his biggest downside is his abilities. But like he's still a very good ability power build. And then you can also do a crit power build. The crit power again is bugged at the moment, so like like build at your own peril kind of thing. But once they fix it, like it's he's so versatile. His abilities are very very useful. For clearing out like he has like the fire and oil bomb combos are very very good for clearing out big mobs or like a horde of mobs at once. His ultimate is really good. He's a very good like team player. You really want him in your team. Like whenever like he hits like his main ability, his passive ability is like if he hits a weak point or if like the enemy is debuffed, all your teammates they do more damage. So he just does like really he just does his abilities and his support is like really up there. And then you compound that with his movement, like which I mean yeah it's gonna be with guns mainly. I think we've tried like Dagger's build and all that and it didn't feel good. But him with an Arcstorm or a Tempest, like he shreds enemies. Like it's just like the damage output you can do like 7,000 a shot, at least with the Arcstone, and then if you crit, it's about 17,000. So like you just shred through enemies. You're doing all these like support work. His clone ability is amazing. And the shorter, but like you get more stamina because I think dash is reduced with him. So yeah, it's just like he's just perfect, and he does constant damage. He helps out the team. Like, what more can you want from a Wayfinder?
it's cute. I am curious about him at S because the
Mm,
reason I had Kairos and Venom S at S is
mm.
because right now they can just shred through shit in seconds. Like,
I mean,
you want to one shot a boss, Kairos. You want to do it like shred a bunch of bosses
mhm.
without phases. Venom S as well. Like,
Yeah, no, for
but
sure. The
Silo's new to me on that.
So Silo is like, I mean, look, Silo is never meant to be a DPS. Like, he's not your like, as I said, he's not your Ven or he's not like your Kairos who's meant to be a damage person. He's meant to be like an all-rounder person, right? So he's giving you everything. So obviously, if you're looking for a DPS, that's why I have Ven as an S class because I think she's the best DPS character out there. And then Kairos second. Play them, but
I'm
I mean,
dying right
Silo
now.
provides a
I'm
different
dying
playstyle,
right.
right? How was
Yeah, I
that?
said I'm dying right
I'm
now.
sorry, I'm sorry. I mean, look, if every single fight was like a boss fight, obviously Kairos would be better than men. But I think in dungeon
I
runs,
just want to clarify. Venom S is also getting some extra crit. Like that, it's kind of like a similar bug to Kairos at the moment. Like
yeah,
Venom S is
unfortunately,
getting.
yeah, there's a few more problems with Ven at the moment, which is really annoying. The crit, I think the crit rating is bugged at the moment, so you're not getting her full crit potential essentially. So yeah, it is unfortunate at the moment. I hope they fix it. And the other thing with the Ven, which I think they're doing in the patch, is her ultimate is a bit bugged. So whenever you try to do an ultimate, the animation makes the ultimate hit elsewhere, which is so frustrating.
Yeah, had that today
Mm.
farming with you and Wolf.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's just like a waste of like basically an ability. But I mean, once that's patched, Ven is going to be my other S tier. Like she's phenomenal. Her healing is I think this is what Wingrave needed to be. Like a tank heal with a bit of damage. I think she's the perfect balance of where the game is at. Like she's not. she doesn't provide 100% heal, but she does enough to like not use your potions for your teammates or yourself, right? But she also gives the damage over time as well with the poison, which is really good support in a support way. Like she's exactly what the game needs. And then obviously like you compound that with her infamous daggers builds with her crit power. She just shreds enemies, especially with Nightshade. It's just it's just stupid. Like by the time they get an attack off, like you don't need to worry about parrying if you do the right builds. Like yeah, and then the poison effect, you just walk away and they die. You don't even need to do anything. It's just like if you can handle her right, like she's really. If to anyone grinding out the game, I would definitely say grind for Venomous. You're not going to go wrong with her.
Oh, great, yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's
But yeah,
great.
so I mean, I think we're mostly agreed. It's just I think the Kairos and Silo debate is like what gets us going.
I'm a Kairos man, so I'm already biased. Like I got asked today in Guild,
Mm,
what
mhm,
happens if Kairos does drop off the map?
mm.
I will make Kairos his own category on a tier list, and he can go in that
The
space.
Kairos tier list. I like this. I like this. The one thing I will
Yeah.
say is for Silo, it is going to be a gun build. So if you hate guns in the game or you came into the game for weapons and daggers, avoid Silo. Go for a Ven or like a Nis build. I think. Even though Grave, if you want to try swords. For Silo, I would primarily like say he's a weapon. He's a gun player. But yeah, that's kind of
Uh,
my little analysis. Hope you guys enjoy that. Don't kill me too much, but that's just my thoughts and opinions on it.
all I'm gonna say is Kairos mains unite.
Oh God! In the comments, give it a like or a dislike. I don't know. Get us in the algorithm.
uh, do you have any summary that you want to finish that up on?
Um, uh, look, yeah, no, just honestly, like if you're new to the game, just look at Tom's videos. Like All Jokes aside, he's done a really good job on it. He gives a really good beginner's like detail on like what each Wayfinder brings to the table, and hopefully, like from what I said, you kind of figured out like what playstyle you like as well. So just from that, like yeah, just have fun with the game. Like you're not going to go wrong with most of these. Just don't do Senja. Like that's literally the only thing I would say. Just don't work towards Senja and any other Wayfinder. You're going to have fun.
Right.
Mm.
Okay. Let's get on to a juicy topic now.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's get on to. So I don't know if you remember a while ago,
Hmm.
especially the people listening.
Yeah, yeah.
There was the question of why are they doing characters in the game over
Mm.
custom characters like you would normally find like in an MMO. I know this isn't a true MMO,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
but it's kind of like why are you doing characters over custom characters?
Mm.
And the reason I'm bringing this up is because I have played through all the story now,
Hmm.
and I'm sat there thinking to myself, why is it we do have characters right now over
Mm.
a custom character? Like
Yeah.
I know there's those small backstory videos that you can go and watch
Hmm.
for each one,
Yeah, yeah.
but nothing inside the story.
Yeah.
Like,
Look,
if I'm on Kairos, like, where's the
mm,
Kairos content? You know, like nothing
yeah,
really gave me the edge there. Why can't I just plug a universal character in?
yeah.
It didn't change the outcome.
So your argument is basically saying like the reason why the devs or went against like custom characters is because they wanted to introduce said characters to like build this world, give like lore essentially, give them a backstory, and they wanted to build a game like that, which is very fair enough, right? That makes sense on paper, but I think the fundamental thing is like we're kind of missing the story, or the story is like the writing isn't there, unfortunately. Right?
Yeah, like at the moment, let's say I pluck the commander out of Guild Wars
Mm,
2, who's the
mm,
main.
yep.
There's nothing stopping me plugging the commander into this game, and for
Exactly.
99% of it,
Hmm.
it would fit. Like
Yeah, yeah. Like, yeah, no,
there's,
I
I
think
don't
this is.
feel like there's any special reason at the moment other than those
Mm,
character backstory drop
mm.
video things.
Yeah, I
I don't
mean,
feel any special
mhm.
dialogue or anything appeared for this.
No, I think it's a very good topic because I think a few people or a fair amount of people have been like saying the same or sharing the same sentiment, right? They really are missing the story. Like they really just love the game itself, like the mechanics of shooting and all that. But like obviously what makes a game great is obviously the story and the lore that goes behind it, right? Any good game. from like Epic or Blizzard, like they put out like Diablo and stuff. There's a good story behind it, and everyone raves on about the story, the dialogues, the cutscenes. Yes, it's in early access, and this could all change. Like Warframe had this same problem, I think. At the start, no one really gave like 2 cents about the story and the character developments and all that. But I think once it became big, they could actually afford to get the good writers in and build it that way. And I'm hoping this is the same direction it goes. But yeah,
I
right
don't
now,
see how you could fit Warframe's second. Is it Second Dream in like because
yeah,
that's what
some of
really
that.
kicked it off, right? Because
Yeah, that's what
you
kicked the
could then
story
make
side
your
things
own
off.
character. I
Yeah.
can't see a second Dream in this. I just can't
Mm,
see where they could go to fit a second because these aren't robots, and
yeah.
or whatever.
I mean, I'm sure you can integrate like I mean, I'm sure like if content creators out there who can make like a good storyline out of like to make customizable characters. Like I don't know, there's an event that happens, triggers, and then like now you can customize like characters or like whatever. But like I agree, like it needs to be done. I think or they just need to improve writing the quests and the stories and the characters a bit better, or integrate that a bit better into the game. Like one
Yeah,
shot give.
because at the moment, I, I I play a lot of like the Wayfinders, right? And
Mm-hmm.
outside the backstory,
Mm-hmm.
there's there's nothing for them, and I feel like that's missing in the game right now.
Gloom. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, or I normally get addressed in some cutscenes as Wayfinder.
Yeah.
You done
Yeah.
X, Z, Y in the
Mm.
past,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you could just play, But
Just
I feel like
personalize a
going
little bit.
forward,
Mm.
it'd be nice to have because the characters are fucking lovely.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Like take tier lists aside, okay,
Hmm.
on however they perform.
Hmm.
Right now, just having that variety in there. I
Yep.
know
Yep.
there's no Necromancer, and I am biased on that. That should be in the game.
Yeah, but
But
we're getting a berserker.
the characters that we do have are,
Hmm.
after watching their backstory trailer, I want to know more about them. But I'm not
Mm.
given that opportunity at the moment, and I know it's still early days,
Yep.
but there's nothing to suggest that anything like that is coming.
Yeah.
And if it has been said that stuff's coming, again, it's probably been on Discord,
Yep.
and no one's like, no one's
Hmm.
watching that all
No.
24/7. So
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, no, I completely agree. I do wish they do address this once, the bugs and like the bad things are kind of addressed. They actually go back into the game to make the game grow a little bit, and I think this is definitely something they do have to address. The storytelling and the lore needs to be a bit more integrated, or you make an event that makes us like customize the characters a bit more, so at least we feel a bit more attached to them or a bit more personal to them. Yeah.
that's all I want really. Like, because at the
Mm,
moment, like, I want to know more about these, but at the same time, like,
mhm.
so they're thinking, well, I could just slap any generic character in here right now
Yeah.
and do the same job, and then just have
Mhm.
the Wayfinders instead of them being characters, just have them as classes,
Yep.
and the same job would be done,
No, for sure.
like
It's
essentially.
almost like reminiscent, like how like you interact with like the NPCs. It's like when World of Warcraft like was first came out, and it was just like you talk to this like inanimate object, and then it's like go do this, go do that. It's almost like that, and I just wish it's a bit more interactive these days. Like we are in like 2023, so I just wish like
Yeah.
the NPCs and like the world is just a bit more like it feels a bit more real, and not static.
Keeping in mind, the more characters they release before addressing that, the harder job it
Mm,
is as well to go
exactly.
down the line to address it.
For sure.
So my feedback would be it's better to do it sooner than later, but
Yep.
obviously like priorities are priorities and this
Hmm.
isn't a big priority. Like
No,
but
for
it
sure.
is
But
something that
it's just something
if
that's
I'm thinking
eye-opening.
it yeah, if right
Mm.
and keep in mind, right, I'm not the biggest story fucking person either. I'm more into endgame raids and stuff, but if I'm thinking this from that
Mm.
perspective,
I'm the
imagine
opposite.
what people that
I'm
actually care about the
Well,
thing.
like that's me. Like I'm the guy who like typically like in Diablo in any MMO or any game, I read every single text, like side quests or whatever. I read everything. This is the first game in my life like that I just skipped through. I just could not care. I'm just like just let me get to the game. Like it's and that that's yeah that's saying something. Like I just did not. I was not interested in this quest stories or like whatever or the characters. Like to an extent, I was, but then like when I saw that was being integrated into the game, it's like I don't care.
That actually does want to spin me onto a side subject. Let's go
Hmm.
to the start of the game, okay?
Yeah.
How was your experience at the start of the game? Because my experience was I had a bunch of people watching because we're trying to
Mm,
pull as many players from our
mm,
previous games as possible into
for
this
sure.
game.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
at the time, they were all wanting to watch. But for
Mm.
me and for them, it felt like it took ages to actually get into the meat and bones of what you wanted to do
Yeah, for
in
sure.
this game.
I was on the same, but I think the first week, like, I was going to give up on the game. Like, I was just not having fun. And this is like putting the DCs aside, like going past the DCs when I was actually in the game and like, could like play a little bit. I was just like, this like feels like any other game. So I actually took it very, very slow the first week or two. And then I think I got to like level 15 to 17 with Silo as my main. And then like I could, and then I think like I was like welcomed into the guild, which was really nice because that's when like Vecna and the other Wolf was like on chat and like, I would like just like go into the chat and then like that group play actually made me more interested in the game and obviously resulted in me sticking around for endgame content, which is I think where the game is kind of at.
Yeah, I mean, it did
Mm,
put some off joining the game
for
because
sure.
I was meant to have like one of my own brothers play.
Mm,
Then
hmm.
we were meant to have another GM from another
Yep.
guild in another game that I knew. He was going to pull all his lot into our guild,
Oh,
and
right.
a lot of them got spooked off by that. So
Mm,
they've actually held off, and that's aside from the problems the game's had with DCs. Just getting into the game
hmm.
is some of their gripe
Yeah,
um,
yeah.
on
I
that.
think once you're in the game and you get into the meats and bones, like it is a bit of a learning curve, and then it is a bit like, oh, it's a bit repetitive. I think having a group really, really helps. Because like you can like obviously like interact with them, have fun, crack jokes on voice chat or whatnot. But yeah, I think like solo play was very rough until like I started playing with like the other guild members.
You feel like the introduction to the game, like you get out of
Mm.
the what that hell
That
bent
yeah,
thing that
yeah,
I do 5 times. Once you get past that, do you think it needs to be more streamlined?
yeah, for
I
sure.
mean, Warframe's gone back and revisited some of this. But
Mm,
I feel like yeah, some of this maybe before free to play launch could be touched up upon. They wouldn't really have to do too much, but the dialogue stuff needs to be
hmm.
cut down a bit and
Yep. I think I think that's the
explained even
problem.
better.
It's just too much tech. Like I like for what they're saying, it's just too much reading. It's like, yeah, they just need to just, I don't know, they just need to fix that. It's just less text and just get to the point, and then like, yeah, like maybe make it a bit more compelling. Easier said than done. I completely understand, but
I mean, they
yeah.
could feed that out at different levels as
Hmm.
well, like
Yeah.
because when I've wanted to play the game first, right?
Hmm.
I want to experience the gameplay. That's
Hmm.
the number one thing. I want to know what it is I'm going to be doing 24/7 for the rest
Mm,
of the game's life if I'm invested in this game.
for sure.
And I don't want to sit through, I think it was like 20-30 minutes of dialogue
Mm,
going here and there
yeah.
quests.
Yep. Yep. I thought we were
Without
past this,
really,
but like
yeah.
I think there is a place for those quests. Just kind of get you used to the map and like to the locations and stuff. But I think it was just a bit too much though.
The other question I did want to go in with you because this is your
Hmm.
first time on the podcast, right?
It
So
is, yeah.
I'm actually gonna give you the thing because and we normally ask this to a bunch of people, but since it's your
Yeah.
first time and I know it's a little late in the podcast to really ask it, but
Mhm.
what is your opinion on the game as a whole? So forget about the problems that it's got.
Of course. Okay.
Try and keep on the big scope here.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your feedback on that to people that are listening in?
I think you'll have a lot of fun in the game. And I think that's why there's still a large support for the game. I think the mechanics, it's refreshing. It's a new game, though like the graphics and the world building is amazing. I've been looking for an MMO or like a MMO of this sort for a long like a multiplayer game for a long time. Like I think since like 3, 4 years ago. And I actually like, like I was like switching between PoE 2, like Desert War, Desert Guild, like Desert War's the thing. I can't remember the name, but a fair bit of like these old like 2015 to 2019 games. And the graphics were like such a big put off. I'm like, it's 2024, like let's use like Real Engine 5 to get good graphics out, and I think that's one thing like I was really drawn to the game about. That's really beautiful, and then obviously like the shooting and the combat system is phenomenal. It's challenging. It's very fun. So I think that's the biggest strength the game has, and I think that's why I'm still here. And I think if the core mechanics are that good, like all the stuff we've talked about, just with a bit of like time and effort, they're all going to go away, and you're going to get something that's actually going to be polished at the end of the day. And I think they're very on like on path to do that with the roadmaps and stuff that they've published. I think their vision's really and I think that's why like after like we go into a lot of these criticisms that we do like on a weekly thing, when we actually look at the bigger picture, we actually feel okay because like I think like we're in safe hands with the devs. Hopefully that answered some of it, but
Yeah. I think you kind of hit it
yeah.
on the nail there. It
So
was just nice to get your opinion,
mm,
because it is a little late, but you are giving a
no.
fresher opinion than because I some of us like making the
Mm,
first episode, we were really hyped for this game, so
for
our
sure.
opinions got a little.
Hmm.
But now that we know what the game is and some of
Very
the
good.
obstacles and that in it,
Yeah. I
and
mean, the only thing I can only wish for is like a bigger open map in the Highlands. Like, I just wanted like at least like maybe a one or two more of the Highland open area maps. But I mean, I understand like right now like the Highlands itself is buggy, so like wishing maybe one or two more is not like the right idea. But like hopefully eventually, like the dungeons are great, the raids are gonna be good, but a few more like open world like Highlands maps would be really cool too.
I know they have got one at least coming, because they said
Mm.
it's going to be made for the mounts.
Oh, beautiful. So that means hopefully a bigger map. A bigger open world map
Yeah,
would be really nice. Yeah.
I think don't I
Mhm.
can't remember where I saw it though. To
Okay.
take this with a pinch of salt, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they said the next map they release is going to be their biggest one yet.
Oh, there you go. Something to look forward to. That'd be very exciting.
But yeah, take it with salt because I can't remember where I got that source from, but I
Yeah, yeah.
do remember seeing it.
Oh, well, if that's true, that's exactly what like I think I would like is game wise, like growth wise. Like the dungeons are great and the raids, when they be introduced is going to be really good, but it's also really fun to just like feel like an MMO, just like like roaming around in an open world, and feel part of the world that they work so hard to do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, and I think with that we can just about wrap up because I think we
Yeah,
are time on this. Like we could
sounds
go a
good.
lot more, but
Yeah, yeah. No, Kids Heist is good. Thank you for having me. I've had a lot of fun. And hopefully you guys
yeah,
enjoyed stuff we talked about today. Even if you did, just like and subscribe, I'd love to have you guys back next week.
yeah. That's one thing I did wanna. I wanted to do a little mini segment like into the thing.
Mm,
So I just want to say to all of you that have been listening, watching our videos, that have liked the videos, disliked the videos, subscribed, all that shit. I want to give you a massive thanks because it is right now. We are new Wayfinder content creator.
yep.
We have a bunch of new Wayfinder content creators,
Hmm.
and it is really tough right now.
For sure.
To put this content out and get it seen because at the moment with the way the game is, people aren't just like they're not watching to they're not deeply invested into the game at the moment.
Hmm.
So it's really hard to grow the channel. Compared to if we went onto a mobile game, we could be a lot easier growth there
Hmm.
because But I just want to thank
Yeah.
everyone for sticking with us and supporting us.
Yeah, just interacting
And we're
with
gonna
us.
be sticking with this game. Yeah,
Hmm. For sure. Yeah, the game was really fun. We're in it for the long run. And yeah, just like your support is very much appreciated.
yeah. I think that's a nice way to wrap that up, though. Like, but yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for the support and we're always going to be around here in some shape or form.
Exactly, yeah.
Uh,
Join our guild. We're on Discord, Retribution Gaming. Links down below. Hmm.
Either join the guild or the community if you wanna just hang out with us and don't want to commit to a guild
Hmm.
and you want some people to go level with
Yeah,
or just someone to chill with, you can come on and chill with us.
for sure.
Just keep in mind, like most guilds right now, there are a lot of people not playing the game, because of the numbers, but there are definitely a decent sized core group of us farming this game hard.
Hmm.
So if you want to come along and tag, we don't mind You know,
sure.
killing a couple of bosses or farming some echoes on the Hollow Horror if you need to level up some more. Don't forget, like, subscribe, all that jazz, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
See ya. Thank you guys.